The Pittsburgh Penguins got a lesson on Saturday night. And I don't just mean on the ice. I think they got a couple lessons off the ice as well. Hi, I'm Dan Kingerski on the Pittsburgh Hockey Now YouTube channel. Welcome to my uncleaned Airbnb / Booking.com apartment. I'll be sleeping on the couch tonight. I'll tell you about this dump that scammed me at the end of the video if you really want to know. Just add this one to my crazy travels this season. So here's what happened on Saturday night. The Penguins lose to the Washington Capitals 4-1. Okay, it was 2-1 until the Capitals scored a power play goal with about 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the game. They add the empty netter, so the score looks 4-1. As Mike Sullivan said, listen, that was a one-goal game. Yes and no. And in that yes and no lies the entire big picture, the conflict of the Penguins organization. This was a game, to be honest, if the Penguins go out west and completely lay an egg, this was the game that took their heart away. Sidney Crosby, kind of in a hushed tone, was like, I don't know why we didn't create more offense. Maybe we had to get out of our own zone a little better. I'll have to watch it again. Mike Sullivan said, listen, that's the world we're in. We have to keep fighting. We have to find a way to get points. We're in a playoff race. We have to find a way. It wasn't the most rousing, rah, we're going to do it sort of locker room. This was a gut punch, losing to the Capitals. And here's, at the core of it, here's why. The Capitals are not the Capitals from 2022. They are entirely revamped. Loads of new players. You add Connor McMichael, Protas, who else? Logan Thompson in net, Pierre-Luc Dubois, their top-line center, Jacob Chychrun on defense. You go down the line. There is just a bevy of new players, all in their 20s, who are going to be around for a long time. The Penguins can't say that. The Penguins have Owen Pickering at the very beginning of his journey. They've got Philip Tomasino trying to reclaim or trying to claim an NHL career. Got Cody Glass now on his third team, who, valuable as he is still trying to find his way in the league, or exactly trying to find his niche to get paid and continue with an organization. So many players with the Penguins were in fact frontline players in 2022. So where the Capitals have basically been overhauled very quickly, I might add, the Penguins have not. The Capitals' style of play, radically different. They held the fort on Saturday. I mean, they defended and they defended and they defended hard. They told the Penguins from the opening minutes, you are not getting between the dots. They had 3 and 4 guys between the dots. If the Penguins wanted to score a goal, they had to bulldoze into the dots. And you know as well as I do, that's not the Penguins' game. It wasn't until a little flourish midway through the third period in which Brian Rust scored a goal that the Penguins finally cracked Logan Thompson, who, by the way, his shutout streak, I think, was over 186 minutes. And you saw why if you watched the game. The Capitals just defended as vigorously and enthusiastically as they used to try to score goals. What a difference. It's not the same organization. It's not the same team. And that, I think, was the lesson the Penguins were learning throughout the game. I'd be shocked if Sidney Crosby didn't look over there and say, I don't know any of those guys. Wow. That's how it's done. I'd be shocked if Mike Sullivan didn't kind of look over there a little bit wistfully realizing how far the Capitals have come. Now, in fairness, before you start commenting and hating on Dan, if I didn't put this part in, you certainly could. The Capitals got, there was some good fortune that allowed the Capitals to do this even faster than they otherwise would have. Good fortune for the organization, bad fortune for the players. Nick Backstrom stepping away, essentially retiring because of injury. His hips just weren't going to allow him to do it anymore. TJ Oshie, the back injury, couldn't keep playing. He'd love to. In fact, I think a lot of us would love to see him, the Lions still with the Capitals. Those two guys alone accounted for well over $10 million in LTIR space, roster spots, allowing the Capitals to flip very quickly. Also, former GM, now president of hockey operations, Brian McClellan, hit on some gambles too. Make no mistake, that Darcy Kumper for Pierre-Luc Dubois trade, that could have gone sideways. That could have really harmed the Capitals organization if it didn't work, but it's working brilliantly. Dubois had 2 points on Saturday night. McClellan also hung on to a lot more draft picks than did the Penguins, over a few GMs. That turns into Connor McMichael, Alexei Protas. They had a draft pick to trade for Rasmus Sandin. They had draft picks to trade, for Mangiapane and Logan Thompson and so on and so forth. And they're a really good team. They're a playoff team because they defend. I don't know if they're Eastern Conference favorites this year because they have no experience. They have literally John Carlson, Alex Ovechkin, and a whole lot of newbies. That's how much they've turned over. So I think this year might be their playoff awakening where they get a lesson. I don't know if they have enough offense to go along with the defense when everybody else tightens the belt defensively in the playoffs, but they are on the right track and they are light years ahead of the Penguins. And I think, I don't know that I'll ever get an answer on that. We were hinting around. I think I wasn't the only one who noticed that tonight. I think it hurt guys in the Penguins locker room. I think it hit here. I think it hit right there. Of course, another loss didn't help either. Another loss that the Penguins could have almost got back in. So, from my dirty Airbnb back behind me, here, I'll tell you about the Airbnb. Or actually, I got it on booking.com. This is my first really bad experience of this season anyway. 48 games for 48. I'm 40, I walk in. I get the text at 11 o'clock from the owners. Hey, it might be a little messy. The maid didn't get there today. I'm like, uh-oh. I'm like, okay, so as long as there's clean linens, I'll be okay. Bear in mind, I've been up for all but 3 of the last 40 plus hours. Dan's a little tired. Looking forward to going to bed. And the response comes back via text, there should be. Yeah, there's not. So behind me are roses, some dead flowers, half-eaten box of chocolates, and a mostly empty 2-liter of Diet Pepsi along with a pile of garbage from a couple of days here. Okay. Checked out the bedroom looking for linens. None. However, there are some half-eaten cookies on the bed, as well as dude wipes. I'm not going in that bed if you paid me $1 million. Flowers, chocolates, no, I'm not. So the one couch looked unencumbered, unused. Dan sleeping there for a few hours. I'm recording this almost at 1 a.m. Saturday night into Sunday morning, going to the airport at like 5:30 in the morning, so I'm going to get about 4 hours of sleep and crash on the plane. You'll forgive me, I splurged a little bit. Realizing I needed some space to sleep, I upgraded my seat to a little Comfort Plus on the way to Denver in the morning. I spent $60 to get a night's sleep. And damn if I won't be fighting for a refund on this dump. Okay, so that's the Penguins. They got lessons, big and small, on Saturday. Dan got lessons, big and small, on Saturday. Do me a favor, like, share, subscribe on this crazy journey as we do all 82, covering the never boring Pittsburgh Penguins. All right, thanks. And I will see you in LA tomorrow. Game on Monday. Wasting no time. Penguins and Kings on Monday. And this trip really is make or break for the Penguins. So we will, in fact, be there. All right. Take care. Have fun.